Oh, the kingdom of heaven has come near to you. Jesus Christ is the name that I come in. I hope that you welcome one who comes in the name of Jesus Christ. So I find it pretty important to share this stuff with you. I got a new book, and it corresponds with the Holy Bible, and it's really interesting because this book was recommended to me from someone who has revealed a lot of hidden secrets. Mr. Tyler Hansen. He has a YouTube channel titled The Fittest Flat Earther, and he's been also on Spotify doing podcasts, revealing truth about a massive deception, and he's recommended a book, and I ordered it because it was $16. I thought that was pretty reasonable. We Walk Upon Dragons by Allan Cornford. I think it's fascinating. I've read maybe like a tenth of it so far. Wow, what an interesting book. And yeah. Okay. And it mentions that in the book of Revelation, it says that there was a war, that there was war in heaven. So he says, so Revelation 12:7, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. So Allan mentions, could it be possible that just as there was war in heaven during the time of the end, there was war in heaven from the very beginning? Question mark. So yeah, it's interesting. So it seems like that could be so. And he reads from a different book that talks about a flying entity of two. That's interesting. So it seems like with Genesis 1, Genesis 1:1. Let me just start reading. In the beginning, so I hope you accept the way that I read this. In the beginning, the Father created the heavens and the earth. Okay. So Allan Cornford, he seems to investigate the second verse a lot. The second verse, now the earth was formless and empty, darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of the Father was hovering over the waters. So he mentions that it's formless and empty, that the word darkness is not just of a visible darkness, but also like of a tangible one. And he mentions that the word deep refers to judgment. And over the waters, Allan was mentioning that referred to like a deluge of water, like a flood. So it seems like there was the earth of old and the earth of new. And it seems like the earth of new starts in Genesis 1:1. And and 1, 2, and 1, 3. Which is interesting because I had been under the impression my whole life that the book of Genesis 1:1, in the beginning, this story was referring to the beginning of everything. Like nothing was before it. So it's interesting. In the beginning, in this sense of a theory, is kind of like a new beginning. Yeah, I thought that was kind of neat. So yeah. So in regards to the massive deception, this is interesting because let me line this up for you. 1:3, and the Father said, "Let there be light," and there was light. The Father saw that the light was good, and he separated the light from the darkness. The Father called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there was evening, and there was morning, the first day. And the Father said, "Let there be a vault between the waters to separate water from water." So the Father made the vault and separated the water under the vault from the water above it. And it was so. The Father called the vault sky. And there was evening, and there was morning, the second day. So that's the firmament. That's the dome. There's no outer space. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a deception. Don't believe that. The Father said, "Let the water under the sky be gathered to one place, and let dry ground appear." And it was so. So Allan Cornford makes an interesting connection to that, how the Son of Man, Jesus Christ, the Messiah, was one who rose from the dead on the third day. So he makes a connection saying that dry ground, in a sense, or land, rose from the waters on the third day. I think that's kind of interesting. And it was so. The Father called the dry ground land, and the gathered waters he called seas, and the Father saw that it was good. So it made me think before rereading this. I was like, oh, neat. So the land of the new earth is kind of like a resurrected Son of Man. So then I was like, oh, cool. What's on the next day? Excuse me for my eyes going so big. Then the Father said, "Let the land produce veg." And I kind of had an idea it was going to be something like this, because the Son of Man's always like, be fruitful and produce fruit, you know. It's better to give than to receive. So then the Father said, "Let the land produce vegetation, seed-bearing plants, and trees on the land that bear fruit with seed in it, according to their various kinds." And it was so. The land produced vegetation, plants bearing seed according to their kinds, and trees bearing fruit with seed in it according to their kinds. And the Father saw that it was good. And there was evening, and there was morning, the third day. Cool, right? So I think see that as a way of a teaching. It's kind of like, obviously the Son of Man's teachings are extremely important. It's to do good, and it's to bear fruit, it's to be fruitful. So it's interesting. To me, this means to be a farmer, right? This means to tend the grounds, to plant seed in the ground, to grow vegetables and fruits and herbs, to grow trees and plants, to grow it all. This is like, you know, possibly already stated in the Holy Bible and other places, but it's kind of interesting, this connection, this parallel. And the Father said, "Let there be lights in the vaults of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years. And let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth." And it was so. The Father made two great lights, the greater light to govern the day and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made stars. Y'all getting that? The Father set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. Ooh. And the Father saw that it was good, and there was evening and there was morning, the fourth day. Bro, how do you go about getting that? Wow, I just learned something else. While I was wanting to share with you one thing, I learned something else. So, from being one who has followed the teachings, I would say they're teachings of Mr. Tyler Hansen, the Fittest Flat Earther, the American man who has exposed this massive deception of not good angels that have been on the earth, pretending to be humans, playing the roles of very famous politicians and actors and athletes and musicians. It's interesting, right? So the story goes that that Satan was cast out of heaven to the earth, and a third of either his angels or a third of the angels in heaven were cast out with him. Yeah, I think that part. And so the idea is that these not good angels have been deceiving us here on the earth. But it's interesting. It's interesting, right? So are they not doing their job still? It's interesting. Okay, let me reread this. And the Father said, "Let there be lights in the vault of the sky to separate the day from the night, and let them serve as signs to mark sacred times and days and years, and let them be lights in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth." Okay, so in the literature referred to as a covenant, maybe a sacred covenant or the secret covenant on the Fittest Flat Earther channel, referring to the Freemasonry folks, and their sacred, their symbolic numbers and all. In that secret covenant thing, it's Tyler read something that, and it's hard to know if all of that is true or if it's all fake, or if it's mostly true but a little bit fake, because they're of deceivers. So it's like, how much can you trust it? And even within the secret covenant says that this shouldn't be written down or spoken to anyone else. So it's like, yeah, I get it, but it's interesting. It's interesting. Anyways, within that, it said something about um, it insinuated the idea that such either the highest members or the angels themselves, the not good angels themselves, have been able to like harbor a light or contain a light or take a light or have a light. So it's made me think with the shape shifting and all that stuff. It's made me think, well, they're just maybe they know they have a certain light and they cast a certain light out, and maybe that light is what others have seen, and that's like the shape-shifting aspect of it, is just this manipulation of light. Because it's interesting here, written down here, it says that the Father okay, and it was so. The Father made two great lights, and the greater light to govern the day, and the lesser light to govern the night. He also made the stars. Okay. So, when I read that before, years ago, I had thought that those were like just tangible stars, like burning balls of gas. No, this now seems to be. These now seem to be appropriately considered to be entities. So you know what? Maybe the sun and the moon are entities that are still doing their job up there, governing the day and the night. These stars. So it meant the Father set them in the vault of the sky to give light on the earth, to govern the day and the night, and to separate light from darkness. He also made the stars. Okay. So I guess the Father made these entities and gave them the job to be in the sky to shine light to the earth. But I guess they were rebelling and then not doing a good job, and they were cast down to earth. But it seems like they still have that ability to cast light onto the earth. And it seems like they maybe still have that ability to govern. Hence why maybe all of these seemingly not good angels are in governments. Seemingly maybe that's why potentially all the rulers of every country are of these not good angels, because they were created by the Father in heaven to govern the light and the dark, or the day and the night, the good and the bad, to separate the good and the bad. It seems like government also dictates who goes to jail, and that is one way to dictate or to separate the light from the dark. So it's interesting. Are these stars still doing their job? If they were to, okay, so any entity created by the Father in heaven placed in the vault of the sky to do their job would be to cast the light, a certain light out, and to help govern the day and the night, and to separate the light from the darkness. Yeah, so that could be done in the sky. Potentially, if you rebel and you're cast out of the sky and you're on Earth, potentially you'd still be doing your job. You would just be on Earth, giving off a certain light, and governing day and the night, the different times of the, letting them serve as signs to mark the sacred times and days and years. Because it's interesting, because these not good angels, they seem to be deceptive. They seemed to have been deceptively hiding for a long time. But it seems like since they're being revealed, it's like they're not, it doesn't seem like they care. It's kind of like, oh, we kind of already have told you we're here anyways, so we can't really get scared and be like, oh no, they know about us. So that's understood. Understood, and I guess, yeah, this is all interesting. Govern. Well, I guess if you reach enlightenment and you have a light within you, then you don't need any other lights to govern you, because you understood. And the father said, okay, so back to the parallel. So Jesus Christ, the Son of Man, rose from the dead on the third day. Same with the land or ground rising from the waters on the third day. And then there's vegetation, produce fruit. So it seems like the calling is to be a farmer. No, to follow Jesus Christ, to have Jesus Christ in your heart, the Son of Man, all of his teachings. Then to be fruitful, to be a farmer. Then I would say I would say the next thing would be to know about these not good angels, these these entities. Be a farmer, know about the entities. Then the Father said, let the water teem with living creatures, and let the birds fly above the earth across the vault of the sky. So the Father created the great creatures of the sea and every living thing with which the water teems and that moves about in it, according to their kinds, and every winged bird according to its kind. And the Father saw it was good. The Father blessed them and said, be fruitful and increase in number, and fill the water and the seas, and let the birds increase on the earth. And there was evening and there was morning the fifth day. I think that's cool. So I think that's a calling to be a hunter, to have a bow and arrow, to be able to kill birds and shoot them and eat them, cook them, and then also to have a net and a fishing pole, to be a fisherman, to fish for fish and to eat them. So I think that's cool. I think it's a calling to be a farmer, to know of the deception of the not good entities, to be a hunter, to have a bow and arrow and a fishing net and a fisherman. And the Father said, let the land produce living creatures according to their kinds, the livestock, the creatures that move along the ground, and the wild animals, each according to its kind. And it was so. The Father made the wild animals according to their kinds, the livestock according to their kinds, and all the creatures that moved along the ground according to their kinds. And the Father saw it was good. So to me that means, in another sense, being a farmer with animals, cows, pigs, chickens, that would be the next calling. So not only do you follow Jesus Christ, not only do you become a farmer and grow plants and herbs and trees, not only do you know of the deception of the not good entities that are to govern the day and night, but you're also to get a bow and arrow and to be a hunter of birds and to get a net and a fishing pole and fish for fish, and also to have livestock like a farm, like cows and pigs and chickens and horses maybe too. Then the Father said, let us make mankind in our image, in our likeness, so that they may rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, over the livestock and the wild animals, and over all the creatures that move along the ground. What's that mean? So the Father created mankind in his own image. In the image of the Father he created them. Male and female he created them. That would be to reproduce. That would be to find a partner who has not been married before, or has not been divorced before, and to procreate, to have children. So all this makes sense too. Like, how can you knock this? Oh, I like the last part too. The Father blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number, fill the earth and subdue it, rule over the fish in the sea and the birds in the sky, and over every living creature that moves on the ground." Then the Father said, "I give you every seed-bearing plant on the face of the whole earth, and every tree that has fruit with seed in it. They will be yours for food, and to all the beasts of the earth, and all the birds in the sky, and all the creatures that move along the ground, everything that has the breath of life in it, I give every plant for food." And it was so. So that's neat. That had made me thought this time around of marijuana, because that's a plant. It's illegal in some places, and also made me think of the cocaine plant, which is illegal in many places. But straight up, this is from the Father. So marijuana and the cocaine plant ought not be illegal. Why might it be in some places? Well, I think because of the entities that had the job to give light to the earth and to govern the day from the night. These entities that have been cast out, that I think kind of dictate who goes to jail and not. I think they still govern. I think their mission is to still govern the earth. If humankind is not enlightened and governing, then these entities might. But it's interesting. It's not kind of that fair though. It's a tricky twist, Joe. Cut. It's interesting. I just had a lot of different thoughts. I don't think I'll be able to put into words right now. Yeah. Okay. So, I think these entities that have been cast out from heaven, that seem to attempt to govern the earth, they've made these plants illegal. The cocaine plant. They might have seen that. Oh, it makes some people crazy. We need to kind of govern this some. So that seems legitimate. But maybe they knew that they couldn't really keep it from people altogether, so maybe that's why they allowed the underground system of buying from dealers and stuff and smuggling. It's like maybe they can make it illegal, but they can't really not let people get it if they really want it. I think cocaine was medically used a long time ago. I thought that was interesting. I think it could potentially still be. The Father saw all that he made, and it was very good. Hold up. Is that the first very? Was good. Was good. Was good. Was good. That's the first very good. God saw all that he had made, and it was very good. course it was. And there was evening and there was morning the 6th day. Thus the heavens and the earth were completed in all their vast array. By the 7th day the Father had finished the work he had been doing, so on the 7th day he rested from all his work. Then the Father blessed the 7th day and made it holy, because on it he rested from all the work of creating that he had done. So when I read that part, I thought that was interesting. Blessed. I have read that before, but this time I was thinking about it more so, and I think that's interesting. He didn't have to bless that day, but I think what that means is that every Sunday is blessed. And I think if you honor and rest on every Sunday, or if you rest on a Sunday, you get that blessing. I think that's interesting. That's what I'm gathering. And then what else did he bless? Did he bless mankind? Yeah, bro. God blessed them and said to them, "Be fruitful and increase in number." Oh, that's so nice, dude. Oh, that's so nice. That totally means that all of us inherently are blessed. Whoa. Whoa. That just feels like it means something. That's nice. Thank you, Father, for blessing us. Oh, that's so nice. Wow. So we're all blessed, and if you want to get more blessed, rest on Sunday. And if you want to do it all right, follow Jesus Christ. And plant seeds, tend the earth, and know of the deception of the entities that have governed, and be a hunter and a fisherman for birds and fish, and be a farmer with livestock, cows, pigs, chickens, horses, etc. And find an appropriate mate and produce children, and bless your children. And use all animals and food and plants for food. And rest on the 7th. It's a blessing. This is the account of the heavens and the earth when they were created, when the Father made the earth and the heavens. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. That's cool. Well, this book, We Walk Upon Dragons, got a couple days ago. It's self-published, came out copyrighted 2024. I recommend it.